Okay, so block day 1.6 was the absolute value inequalities. We're continuing that today, but today we're going to go backwards. It's sort of a Jeopardy day. Like I give you the answer, you got to give me the question. So those are always, like the concepts are the same, but can you figure out what's going on based on what I give you? Let's start with some things that we know. Absolute value of x is less than 4. Absolute value of x is less than 4. Okay, it would be nice if we could graph that one without going through the whole process. That would really help, but we may not be there yet. So that means x is less than 4. Less than is and. X is greater than negative 4. So I'm not going to do the colored highlighter overlap thing again. I mean, you can if you need to, but I want all the values that are less than 4 and greater than negative 4. So that's just everything in between there. All right, let's see if we can shortcut this one a little bit. Absolute value of x plus 2 is less than or equal to 3. So the 3 is the distance that we're worried about. And it's the distance from let's see, x plus 2 actually moves us left 2. So that's the distance from negative 2. So I'm going to be 3 away from negative 2. I'm going to start by putting negative 2 on there because that's sort of the middle of the problem here. And then yes, 3 away on one side would put me at 1. And then negative 5 on the other side. And the less than tells me already it's got to be less. That distance needs to be less than 3, so it's got to be the inner stuff. Closed circle, inner stuff. Like, we're not even going backwards yet. We're trying to find a kind of a shortcut for easy ones to go forward. One more going forward problem. Absolute value of x minus 4 is greater than 2. So looking at that last one, what's the distance? 2. And where's the center? The distance from what? And I want the distance to be greater than 2. So we'll start at 4, and we'll go 2 away, so 6 and 2. But I want everything that's bigger than 2, that's more than 2 away. So more than 2 away, more than 2 away. You know what, maybe a better way to phrase that would be, or a better way to think of that, is this side is distance from 4. And the other side is, or the rest of that problem says, is more than 2. So the distance from 4 is more than 2. So start at 4, go 2 away, and we want it to be more than 2. Okay, now for the weird stuff. We're going to start with the answers and work backwards. So start with maybe a simple-ish one. Say 3 and 7. Let's go closed circles and arrows toward the outside. Again, it's like the Jeopardy problem, right? Like there's the answer. That's supposed to be a 3, by the way. So what's the, I guess the first question is this a less than or a greater than problem? Greater than, because it's going to the outsides. And with an equal to sign on there. The middle goes there, and the distance goes over here. So what's the middle value? Well, okay, so the middle value is 5. What goes in the x minus 5? And then what's the distance? 2. So there's some of those today. Let's do one more of those. In fact, I'll shut up and let you try this one. -11, -5, open circles, and we're shading in between there. What inequality would express that picture or would result in? So, less than or greater than? Excuse me. Is this a less than or greater than? Less than. What's the, I guess middle makes the most sense, because then you can, -8. So what goes in brackets over here? Or x plus 8. And how far away are we? 3. Question came up is, well, how do we know this is a positive 3 and not a negative 3?
It's absolute value.
That's one answer, because absolute value will never be negative. Those weird cases are were the result when negatives happen. So it's always going to be a positive. Another answer would be distance is always positive, so those numbers will always be positive. So, kind of an interesting, weird, tricky problem set today, where you hit some of these where it kind of forces you to slow down and think backwards. Most of them are not that. Most of them are more normal. Assignment today from the book, page 45, 9 through 23 odd, 29, 36, 37, 45, 49, 64. Yes, I'm through writing now. Again, it feels weird, but it's better than saying 9 through 63 odd, right? And then you got to do a whole bunch of problems. So, send one person from each row to go retrieve some textbooks. You got still an hour left. You got plenty of time to knock these out.